Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me. They're rather joyful energies this morning. There's huge energy in the heart. We're going through what I've been shown as this, let's see, extreme up-leveling from the heart chakras upwards today. And the earth has shifted into a new resonance. Hello, Jackie. So you may have felt that yesterday I was a bit like the Walking Dead. There was just nothing I could do to easily move myself. And I did some little bits and pieces. I needed to rearrange my outdoor furniture outside, and I did manage to do a little bit of that. And I just had no energy really. And when I asked GAIA about that, she said that we were going through this integration. Good morning, or good evening to you, Anna. So, and hello everyone else who's here. And what do I want to say to you? Oh, I want to say to you, if you joined me the other day when we did that visualization and that other work around the shifting into a what did we do? We did that connecting up with the masculine feminine balance and this creation of the new in the world. Hello, Dana and Stacey and Fiona. And I just want to tell you that when I went back and listened in, it did feel very, very powerful. And I do believe that that's why we got booted off. Also, I want to thank you for your part in that. And I want to speak also about this time we're going through. So here in New Zealand, this flooding aspect continues, and there's more volcanic action which has been showing up, and earthquake action, and all of this is really the equivalent to, you know, the dog shaking its coat after it's been for a swim in the ocean, and us, you know, doing the equivalent through a variety of things. So yesterday, the energies for us yesterday were all about this massive integration. And so I'll read you the notes from yesterday, and then I will see what else comes here. So yeah, I thought about writing this yesterday. I came in to write this, and then I thought I just don't have the wherewithal for it. So yesterday, this is what Gaia said. So I'd be curious to know what you all did yesterday, or maybe this will be your experience today. So it's midday here in New Zealand on the 18th of February. So that means actually that this is a 9-day in a 9 universal day. So 9s, of course, are about endings and completions. But yesterday, on the 17th, this is the very short message that I got. Honor the fruits of your labor today. There is much to be said for spending time in relaxation, rest, and even sleep today, as we embody and integrate the resulting changes in our bodies through these higher dimensional emotional codes. So thank you. Thank you, the rest of you who have joined in here. Dawn, hello Dawn, hello Heather, hello Billy, and hello Anneke, Intuitive Art from London. Yeah, so yesterday or today, depending on where you are, you might be having that experience. So, okay, so Margaret Bowley expecting 37. Oh, okay. Well, she's retracted that, so we'll see. Maybe that wasn't what she meant. A long-lasting solar flare radio blackout currently in progress for over an hour or so now. So that's in London. Where these, you know, it's really for you, I want to say to you to really sink into the micro and the macro, that this is this total reboot, rearrangement, release, recalibration that the planet is going through, and so are we. So it's deep, it's through its ancient, historical, energetic past, the wars, the intrusions, all of this has to be released. And remember that Gaia spoke about how that would be released through the elements, through the air, through the water, through the fire, and through the earth. So, of course, the air shows up in wind and in cyclones, and the earth shows up in volcanic shifts and eruptions, and then the water shows up in rain and floods. So there's this return to organic. And what is important for each of you to do is to be attuned to self. So if you are in fear, that's very difficult to do. So you keep attuning to your heart space. You invite yourself to be in peace and ease and calm and centeredness and grounded to the earth. And then you will know that you will get the guidance that you need to move or shift or relocate or pack up and go somewhere else for a few days. You will get that urge, you will feel that urgency, and so you do that not through the mind. You might get it through the mind, you might get information through the mind, but get the urge through the body. The body won't lie if you're in center and if you're in your heart space. So Margaret, you're here, aren't you? I think you're here in New Zealand, is that correct? 37 degrees. That would be very hot for us in New Zealand, but I do have a funny feeling that you are. Just let me know where you are. So that was the notes that came through yesterday, and then this morning, you're in New South Wales. So New South Wales has been having some strange weather phenomena as well. Yes, yeah. So there, there's the levels of it. That's what I want to say. Just remember, there's the levels of it. So everything that's happening here is happening for greater good, and maybe I'll just speak to that briefly. So you can see that there's the spectrum of the activities, of the energies, from love to hate, from angelic to demonic. And those all sit as this spectrum of energetics in our world. The way that Gaia has always described it to me is that there is this spectrum. That is our polarity. That is our duality. That is our learning to be in the mix of this, to take on the lessons, the learning through the physical, through the experience of being in this three-dimensional, physical, tangible world, and to learn from it, to come into wholeness through it. So we've had all of these experiences throughout time as soul here on the planet, and other planets as well, but here our focus right now is on this planet. And so many things held in the cells that we're releasing, and we're going through that process. Gaia speaks about the spectrum having been stretched to include down here at what she calls a tail of evil, TAIL, that there is this section on the negative dark end that is to do with intrusion and evil, and that has to be cut off. That is what she has been saying to me for quite some time. But we are really in the throes of this release, and it shows up to me that we could view this in many ways. So lots of people talk about the bifurcation, and there's some truth to that in my understanding, but it doesn't show up to me as this cut. It shows up to me as it's so hard to describe, as a dimensional, frequency, a dimensional frequency paradigm that sits energetically in a different space, and that we are really moving to that now. And there's a lot of different things that Gaia has shown me that can happen to those that don't come through to there. And some of them will come through to there in a slightly different process to this ascension. They may move through to the fifth dimensional spectrum or space or dimensional bandwidth, but they may not do it through their body upgrading to fifth dimensional frequency. So this is ascension in the body, never done before in the history of the multiverse. So much activity, so much interest, so much observation here onto the planet because of that, you know. So if you are doing this, you're breaking through old paradigms just on that level, and that's phenomenal in itself, on its own. You're doing amazingly. So we've been going through this ongoing process that, you know, you here have probably all heard me speak about, this sort of what God has called this incremental tempering of the body. So, you know, this release and this bringing in. And right now we're on the end cusp, I suppose you could say. So we can kind of smell it, taste it, feel it, because it is that close. It energetically is that close. And so we will shift through what we create through our own energetic ignition is that we will create a wave. So that wave will influence more beings. Anyway, today, I wonder if there's anything else I need to say to you about that. It's such a big story, you know. I think I first started talking about this story really right at the beginning of my channel, where I was talking about that big ball of light being formed in the sun and what I call the Sputnik in the center of the earth. So there's all of these components to it in terms of the solar, right? There's our solar plexus, and that holds that energy like the sun. It's really the thing that warms us. And also it's the thing that connects us or disconnects us from our internal power. It's what connects us to our beauty and delight and innocence and wounding of our inner child. It's a place that often requires attention, healing, soothing, and salving. And then there's this other element of that, the same energetic in many ways, that sits as this flame, this fractal of God, the source, light, divine essence that sits here in the center of your higher heart. And it shows up to me physically when I enter into that space, and each of us has how I see it anyway, it shows me a different permutation of that, and it gives me qualities of how you might be in your personality self, in your way of being, in your energetic self. So these are the two of the components. And of course we align also through the central vertical column. So this is where we're moving to this direct, there's so many aspects to it, and we're still getting the new, but one aspect of it is to become that central vertical core. Oops, lost it a moment. To become, let me just put both feet on the ground here and see if that helps. To become the central vertical core in liquid gold. So that's the Christed liquid light in our spine. That's the crystalline. That's the DNA upgrading. That's the connection that we are either in now, and likely for many of you, we're in the flow, in the connection of that, right through the central vertical core, the liquid light in the spinal column and the spinal fluid. And then that connects also to the solar sun in the center of the earth. And so, there's just, I could speak about that for hours, about how I saw that develop and grow and what I got shown about it, and all of the rest of it. But that I don't know that it's all exact and accurate and correct, but the theme of it that I was shown was this development of our own internal solar sun in the earth, and that would migrate out to the edge of the planet, and that would have a connection to, it would either be, well, anyway, whichever way it comes, it looks like it comes both ways in a way. That's how it looks. So it's hard to explain, but let's imagine that there's this ball of sun sitting on the edge of the earth, and that attracts a ball of sun sent from the central sun or from our sun. And that's built up through the layers, the hierarchical stratas of the sun, the sun, the grand central sun, the great, great central sun, the great, great, great central sun. I don't know how many greats it goes back. But this activation that comes, that connects, to me, it's these three things. It's the solar in the earth, which I was showing, comes to the edge of the earth. And there's this activation that nudges. I've always talked about the fact that we get shunted a little bit, and it's always shown to me. If you play softball and you know what, you call it baseball in the States, what a bunt is. It's when you hold the bat closer to the top and down in the handle, and you just push it against the ball to knock it down. We get bunted or shunted like that further into the photonic belt. That's what I've always been showing. So, well, I guess the actual, nitty gritty of it will show up, but that's the general overview that I've been shown, and we're so building to it. But today I have to tell you this because it's so exciting, and I'm sure that many of you will be able to feel it. Huge heat as well. So for me this morning, so remember I'm midday now, on the 18th, huge heat in my body this morning. I've still got it. It's very strong from the rear heart aspect upwards, and in the back of the, so the rear heart opposite the higher heart, there's a rear heart, and then beneath that as well. So we have these front and rear aspects of our chakra systems, but it's in the heart, higher heart, back of the neck, head, and crown. And in the head, it's very tingly. But anyway, this huge heat, and in the head and in the third eye, and in the body, there's heat, but it's really hot in the back of the body. Transmutation occurring as we move into further upgrades in the upper body and head is what Gaia gave me. This also relates to psychic gifts, so we're getting more psychic gift upgrades, increases, and always I'm showing that as your strength, the gift that is your strength, gets upgraded first, and then it like ripples into the next. So if you've just got one psychic gift that's showing up, you might find that another one gets activated through this. So this, it's to do, though, there's three strengths that show up for today, and it's audio, visual, and telepathic. So you might be feeling more in your eyes, your physical eyes, your third eye, your occipital bone, in your ears, and it might be one ear more than the other, and in the crown chakra, and lots of tingling in the head, a bit, that metal tool that has prongs on it that you can put down over your head and you get the shivers. It's that kind of energy. Carolyn's saying higher intuition to connect more deeply with the earth. That makes perfect sense. Thank you. And then I get that the brain is having an upgrade Similar, it shows up as similar to, you know, when you can buy a new reader card or an upgraded card to put into your computer or into your laptop so it can take the new codes, access new apps, things like that. It's like we are getting that today. So I get the brain is having an upgrade similar to a new reader card being placed into your hard drive. Now, I'm not suggesting by any means that we're becoming um, com- robotic. I'm just saying that this is the analogy because we understand that as an energetic analogy. And this affects your ability and enhances your ability to read the vibrational airwaves. So your attunement to this will be elevated. So you also may feel a lot of energy. So this is interesting. A lot of energy streaming from your upper cheekbones. And this releasing stored energies from the past that have been having a limiting effect. So if you work with the body, you will perhaps know that it's so hot in here. You perhaps will know that we have lost my train of thought. Yes, cheekbones. That we do a lot of storage of anger, resentment, and rage in our face, really, but in our jaw, in our gums, in our teeth, and up into the cheekbones. And it was shown to me this morning from here. So the streaming from here really super fine and tingly, and that's what Gaia said to me, that it was to do with some old limiting beliefs and patterns being released. So it feels very the last of, because it's so fine. And yeah, so this is stored energies from the past that have been having a limiting effect on your self-perception of your own abilities and gifts. So if you've been living with this doubt, this lack of self-belief, I doubt that won't, I can't, no, I can't do that, I can't believe that won't be right. All of that is leaving you. All of that is leaving you now. So all of this linked to returning to your goddess self, your angelic or elemental self, your higher dimensional aspects. We're integrating all of those. You can feel all that. It's like that's just streaming in this very fine attunement. So be in gratitude for these today. And I want to say to you to repeat this. I am grateful that I am receiving and aligning to these higher dimensional aspects of self, and they are being integrated in my physical form today. I invite these energies to stream in, and I ask my body to receive these in ease and grace and comfort. So be it. It is done. And then Earth today. So this all relates to the heart, everyone. Earth today is coming into a higher vibrational status. Well, I'll tell you what, that's gotten me whooping and wahooing. If you sit quietly and attune, you are likely to feel this vibration in a very real and tangible manner. So I just invite you to do that now. So place your feet on the ground, get your spine upright, and take some breaths. And then I invite you to bring your hand in close to your heart. Thank you. And if you close your eyes, I mean, you are likely to be feeling tingling everywhere, but I want you to be feeling this it's so exciting. I haven't even told you the exciting part yet, but you can likely feel it, as this very fine, like a hum vibration. And while I was tuning to this, I heard 432 hertz. So when I looked it up, so I looked this up and I get, maybe you'll cry like I did about this, and I get that this is the natural musical pitch in the universe. So our earth has returned to this today. So attune to this, dance and spin in this new. I want to tell you also that in the inner earth today, there are lots of ships. And I mean lots, like maybe, I don't think I've ever seen this many. Maybe one other day I've seen this many, and they're very purposeful and deliberate in their movements. They're very horizontal, as though they're equatorial, let's say. It's that kind of space. They are moving with pace and with purpose, streaming horizontally, getting to somewhere or something. They are not on patrol. They are moving to action stations. We are at another level of get readiness. And we're having a new attunement for all of us today. So yeah, I just invite you to celebrate and revel in that and really feel into that, the beauty of that. So to me, it means that, this is the truth. It means that we have aligned to where we are meant to be at this level. This 432 hertz is our natural resonant frequency in our heart and in our earth, and there'll be more to come of that. I just like to hand over what I get when I get it, knowing that there'll be more to come. I mean, the stories about the giants, they haven't necessarily concluded yet. The energies around the release from the earth haven't necessarily concluded yet. But what I want to say to you is that we have done enough. What this means is that we have done enough release of density, that we are now in our original vibrational resonance of the heart, and that this has got to be good for everybody. Because even though we may be attuned to it earlier, what it means is that the work that we have done is showing up in the physical. This resonance is here with us now. And that means we can hold the space for everyone else to come into that. That idea that Gaia spoke about we as light workers, we create the ball of the meteorite, or the ball of the asteroid, and then we pull the tail through, because we have this sorted. We pull the tail through, and so this is one way of showing up that has been showing up for ascension, and so we have reached that 432 hertz now. I want to say to you that there's no point in, and I know that will be, that's our natural human mental tendency to think, well, the Schumann resonance doesn't show that. But I don't actually believe that these tools that we have on our earth to measure frequency are of the calibration that can measure the new. We will have to have new ways of measuring. So just do it through your feeling. I mean, I think it's 7. I used to know this. It's 7.36, is it? It's kind of our normal. Who can tell me? That's the normal Schumann resonance. That's I've always described that as the heartbeat or the pulse of the earth. So we're this is where we are today, 432 hertz. So that was what was given to me from Gaia. And yeah, just invite you really to just be feeling into that resonance, feeling into that vibration. Feel it from your heart. Feel it as a pulsation from your heart. Feel it as a frequency from your heart. See it as these pulsating waves of magnetism pulsating out to your divine masculine, and see this resonance, this vibration, this fine frequency moving out in this very fine, crystalline, gentle, like a gentle crystalline cloud, I want to say. It's moving out, it's covering, it's blanketing, it's morphing. Yeah. See, even when I come on here, I don't know some of this stuff, but I'm showing this. So just be visualizing this, just be watching this, imagining this. If you don't have psychic vision yet, just be holding that in your imagination. So it's like everything can be blanketed by this. Everything, all of nature. This is what we're coming into over the next 48 hours. So just invite you to take part in your contribution of sending this out, but it's slow, it's gentle, it's like a beautiful cloud of light, of white. It's very crystalline. And it's blanketing, like wrapping the earth like a newborn baby, and covering all of the people and all of the animals and the trees, this rebirthing, this re-raising, this vibrational up-leveling, this embrace. And wow, can't you feel that? You can really feel that. Oh yeah, thank you, Carolyn. Okay, everyone, Carolyn's saying tap 33 times on your chest. So I would suggest that's the thymus here, with intentions on, and ask for your gifts to come through. So let's do that. Let's tap 1, 2. All right, well, we can do it together. So you can use your 3 fingers or your knuckles. You might like to tap it in patterns of 3. So we'll do 11 patterns of 3, huh? We're going to do it like that. But let's begin by asking, creating the intention. So we call upon the higher aspects of self to enable our higher gifts to come in to us now, to be available to us now. Okay, let's begin. Last 3. Take a breath. So the word that comes to me having done that is reprogramming. So just hold your hand there. Watch, feel, depending on your gifts. Those energies, they are streaming through like little tiny dotted translucent lines. Notice, notice when they hit your toes, I want to say. Notice when they've streamed down into your toes. And then invite them to stream up the back. Into the head, across the head. They have that feeling of, that, I don't know, that thing that when I was at school, the boys used to always do that. They'd come and like tap the top of your head and do that, and it felt like an egg being cracked open. It's that kind of effect this energy is having. Thank you for sharing that. All right, my beautiful sisters, my beautiful goddess companions, my beautiful God companions, my creator crew. Wishing you a beautiful day bathing in these new energies, and just allow them to be in the flow of what you need to do and to be today and over the next couple of days. It's beautiful, it's illuminating, it's heightening. And bathe in your own frequency. And I want to say, if you are in an upcoming union or in a partnership, or looking to be in partnership more in the physical, I think that there's, and I didn't get to this, I got very confused in those the lives I did the other day, because I didn't know what I had said and not said. But I want to talk about this space between the union. So I feel like you could see that as two, like the Vesica Pisces, right? That overlapping space. I see that as the union space. And so I want to say, we have to bring that into being pristine. It has to have no energetics in it but love. No pull, no push, no interruptions. And so this energy would be a beautiful energy to place into what I call the union space. So I wish you a beautiful day. Thank you for joining me, you beautiful beings. Much love to you.